Last year, South African runner Caster Semenya won gold at the World Athletics Championships, but came under intense pressure with speculation as to whether she was actually a woman. A person like Caster Semenya, who was born with aspects of both male and female anatomy, is called intersex. Being intersex, sometimes mistakenly referred to as hermaphrodite, is far more common than you may think. As many as 1 in 100 of us fit the profile. Ali Russell spoke with 2 intersex Australians about their experiences.
My child got a front row seat to something that has only happened to probably less than 100 people on the planet in this generation. His daddy performed a really, really good magic trick. He turned into a girl before his very eyes.
I pretty much see myself as kind of in the middle. For all intents and purposes, I'm female. I'm not very female.
My name is Zoe Brain and I'm 51. I'm a PhD student and sometime rocket scientist. I have a rare intersex condition which is not well understood, and I grew up looking like a boy. I was 47 when something very, very strange happened and I started feminising. There was the change in the chest and so on. My body hair diminished, certain organs atrophied, shrank, became dysfunctional. Things which had been external and which had been that way since after birth retracted internally. Within a few months, the diagnosis had been changed from a very mildly intersexed male to an extremely intersexed woman.
My name's Natalie and I'm 23. I grew up in Sydney. I guess I wasn't really interested in what the girls were doing or what the boys were doing. I didn't really fit in with anybody. When I was 16, I still hadn't had my period and my breast hadn't developed at all. So Mum took me to a gynecologist. I was told that I was probably a late bloomer. So when I was 20, that was when I realised, hang on, this isn't kind of happening. I started looking online and kept searching for about a year. I read about intersex on Wikipedia. I thought, you know, I fit all the criteria for it, specifically Swyer syndrome. So I went to an endocrinologist. The ultrasound showed that my ovaries were very, very small and undeveloped. So basically that's why I haven't gone through puberty. I got a female anatomy, but the ovaries were supposed to generate estrogen and they didn't, so here I am.
I'd had a life, I'd had a career, I'd had a marriage, and I'd had a child. And suddenly all of that was thrown into doubt. If this was a movie, if this was fiction, we'd both discover that we were actually lesbian. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Neither of us are. We still love each other just as much. There's rather more to marriage than just sex.
Without the internet, I wouldn't have known anything. I would have been just in the dark. It's easier to talk about it with strangers than people I already know.
I first heard about Natalie on her weblog, and the more she wrote, the more impressed I was with her as a human being. I mean, she was just a teenager. At least with me, I was in my 40s when I had to deal with this.
I hope that my meeting with Zoe will help me feel like I'm, I don't know, part of a community. It'll be good to finally meet another intersexed person. This is the first one I actually know. and I'm quite nervous.
We meet at last. Hello. It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's very nice to meet you at last.
I love the hair.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, God. So nice to know that we're not actually alone.
We're more common than most people would think. Not just 1 in every 3 million children or something. It's, you know, more like 1 in 100.
OK, mine is 1 in a million, 1 in several million. But these things, they're not really, really rare. They happen.
I pretty much see myself as genderless. What my body is what I am. Like, kind of leaning towards female, but kind of in the middle. For some people, it's just really hard to think of anything but male and female. It's just that there are some people that aren't either. We're not, you know, freaks or anything.
Oh, well, you're not.
Well, it depends on the definition of freak.
OK, fair
We're not
enough.
freaks in the bad sense.
No. We're not some funny religious cult or philosophical movement. We have biological anomalies. We're a variation on the human species, like people with red hair.
I definitely think that people should know more about it because they might make less of a joke about it, like, ha ha ha, hermaphrodite sort of thing. We exist and we aren't so rare. I hope that people just see that we're out there.